Most people believe they're late to Bitcoin, not because they dislike it, not because they don't understand it, but because they don't own a full coin. One Bitcoin, as if Bitcoin were a club with a strict dress code, and the bouncer only lets you in if you bring exactly one whole coin, which is impressive logic, really. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Bitcoin doesn't care how much you own, and it certainly doesn't care how you feel about it. It just keeps producing blocks every 10 minutes, quietly, politely, indifferently, and that's exactly why this matters. If you value calm thinking over noise, hit subscribe. We don't chase hype here, we focus on what lasts. The idea that success in Bitcoin means owning one full coin is one of the most damaging narratives in this space. It sounds reasonable, it feels clean, it fits nicely into a round number, which is usually a warning sign because financial reality is rarely round and almost never comfortable. People say, I'll start once I can afford one Bitcoin. That's like saying I'll only save money once I can afford a house. Very motivational, exceptionally impractical. Interestingly, nobody applies this logic anywhere else. No one walks into a gym and says, I'll start exercising once I can deadlift 300 kilos. Yet with Bitcoin, people insist on perfection before participation. A bold strategy, if you ask me. Bitcoin is not designed to be measured in Bitcoins, you know. It's designed to be divisible. One Bitcoin equals 100 million satoshis. Sats are not a smaller version of Bitcoin, they are Bitcoin. Owning sats means you already own a share of absolute digital scarcity, which, historically speaking, is not a terrible place to be. Imagine someone saying, I won't buy gold unless I can buy an entire vault, or I won't invest in real estate unless I can buy Manhattan. We'd politely suggest they sit down and perhaps stop watching motivational videos for a while. Bitcoin is no different, except it's portable, divisible, borderless, and, well, slightly less cooperative with governments. So, here is the plan most people avoid, and, honestly, it's because it's boring. You buy consistently. You don't chase headlines. You don't panic during red candles. You treat volatility much like the weather, sometimes unpleasant, but, well, never personal. This is not exciting. There are no dramatic screenshots and, no victory tweets, which is precisely why it works. Here's another uncomfortable truth. Bitcoin actually rewards people who are, well, slightly dull, not stupid, just emotionally stable, which, let's face it, is a surprisingly rare trait online. And, that's why intelligent people struggle. Here's the irony. Smart people often struggle more with Bitcoin. They overanalyze, they wait for perfect certainty, and they want confirmation from someone important. But Bitcoin offers none of that. No approval, no reassurance, no customer support, just math and time, which honestly is deeply unsettling if you're used to being clever. Identifying the real enemy in this space, well, it's not price, it's not volatility, and it's definitely not timing, The real enemy is hesitation, waiting for clarity, waiting for safety, waiting for permission, while blocks keep arriving and supply keeps tightening. Bitcoin doesn't wait, it simply moves forward. Rather British of it, really. The OG perspective is honestly that Bitcoin doesn't reward intelligence. It rewards consistency. You don't need to be early. You don't need to be bold. You don't need to be impressive. You just need to show up repeatedly, calmly, without drama. Owning Bitcoin is not a status symbol, it's a position. The quiet endgame is that, well, most people will sell too early because small wins feel meaningful and patience feels, a bit abstract. But Bitcoin is not about short-term excitement. It's about long-term alignment with scarcity, with discipline, with reality. If this helped you think more clearly, hit like so others can find it. And remember, you don't need a full Bitcoin. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need certainty. You just need a plan and the discipline to stick to it. Bitcoin will take care of the rest.